Normally I would show the physical copy here, but I don't actually have one for this game because I bought it digitally, so you're just gonna have to stare at my desktop for a bit. But you're probably all at least somewhat familiar with this game because it's one of the textbook examples of a game that was hyped up like it was going to be the second coming of the Christ, or like pure titties condensed into video game form, and then became disappointing by default because nothing can possibly be that good. In other words, it's a famously bad game, or perhaps better described as a famously disappointing game. But I don't like calling things bad if I haven't experienced them myself, and I haven't here. I have played a very small amount of the N64 version, but this is the first time I've ever even booted up the PC version. And I've been curious about it for years because I've always gotten the impression that the complaints against this game are exaggerated. Surely it's difficult to fuck up a fairly straightforward 90s PC shooter, right? Especially considering I'm a huge fan of 90s PC shooters, so I'm pretty much the ideal person to think this is awesome. It's also worth noting that I got this on sale for 97 cents, making it very possibly the cheapest game I have ever bought, so it's going to be basically impossible for me not to get my money's worth here. So without further ado, let's just launch this fucker. And wow, there isn't even a company logo. It just instantly starts. Okay, oh my god, this mouse is horrible. Ooh, shit. Yeah, this is clearly a software mouse, and a very bad one, because for one, it's unbelievably sensitive, but also it has an astonishing amount of latency. The cursor is about, oh, I don't know, about 6 weeks behind where my mouse actually is. That's fucking incredible. Anyway, first of all, I'm gonna go to options because it's clearly running in very low resolution. Or I guess config, probably. No, I guess it is gonna be options. Or no, video, there it is. 640 by 480. Let's do... Well, let's start with 1024 by 768. Generally in older games like this, the HUD doesn't scale with your resolution because the HUD is set up to be a given number of pixels. So as your resolution goes up, your HUD gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So I have a feeling beyond 1024 by 768, the HUD is going to be extremely tiny, and I don't want to deal with that because I'm actually not playing this on a monitor, I am playing this on a TV, so I'm farther away from it than you would normally be with a monitor, so a minuscule little HUD is actually going to be kind of annoying. So we'll start with that. I can bump it up if I need to. Shiny weapons. I'm assuming that means like reflective shaders. That should probably be on. Always run for sure. Look spring, fuck no. Look strafe. I don't even know what look strafe is, to be honest. Look spring would be when you move, if you're not looking straight forward, it springs your look back straight forward, which makes no sense on PC. That's more of a console feature, and even on console, it's the work of Satan. Weapon visible subtitles, no alt tab allowed, that would be very good. Auto switch defaults to off, as it fucking should, because auto switch weapons is the work of Satan. Weapon bobbing, play entry movie, deathmatch tunes, unlimited saves, sure. I have more space on this hard drive than they could have imagined at the time. I completely misunderstood what this setting does. At the time, since I didn't yet know that this game doesn't let you save anywhere you want, I had assumed that this feature was simply removing some kind of limit to how many saves you could have stored, which is why I said something about the amount of space on the drive. I enabled it just thinking I didn't need whatever that limit was because I wasn't going to run out of space on the drive, even if it started piling up autosaves or something. However, in the original release of this game, you aren't allowed to make a save file whenever you want to, like you typically are in PC games. Instead, saving requires a consumable resource in the form of save gems, meaning you can't save if you don't have any save gems available. In a later patch to the game, they added this option to disable that system. So it's unlimited, not in terms of the quantity that can be stored at one time, but rather unlimited in the sense that it doesn't require a resource to do so. So I enabled this option, misunderstanding what it does, but I left it on anyway because the entire concept of limited saves with a finite consumable item is unacceptably silly. Essentially, all it does is waste your time by forcing you to replay a larger section of the game when you die, because you can't save as frequently, so your saves are more likely to be a ways back rather than recent. But that really is nothing more than wasted time, which is pointless even when you're just playing the game, but it's extra pointless when you're recording it, since I'd be editing out the repeated tries anyway. So while I was unaware of the save gem system when I turned this option on, I still made the right choice by turning it on, and because I have explained this here, I have edited out the part where player me figures this out later. Crosshair, ooh, we have customizable crosshair. That is absolutely tiny. That one's probably fine. Let's just go with 2. That's fine. Status bar visibility. Yeah. Fairly translucent. That'll be fine. Mouse. Sensitivity. Well, I'm actually going to have to get into the game to feel that. It's weird there's speed separate from sensitivity. Is this an acceleration multiplier? Because if it's acceleration, it needs to be turned the fuck off, because mouse acceleration is the work of Satan. I know I've said that multiple times now, but Satan gets pretty busy. He does a lot of things in his spare time. What is look strafe? I don't know what that means. Smooth mouse. No. Smooth mouse is the work of Satan. Man, that guy does keep himself busy. Oh no. They have the mouse wheel backwards. I've seen so many games do this. Up should be next. Fucking pricks. Down should be previous. Up is forward. Forward should be next. Down is back. Back should be previous. Sound effects. Cinematics are way louder than sound effects. Let's get these a little higher. Let's get the music a little higher. I don't know why the cinematics are so much higher, but we'll see if it's fucked. It is fucked. What I just did was actually a huge mistake. I turned up the in-game volume thinking it was weirdly low, especially relative to the cinematics being maxed, but actually, the weirdly low default of 60 out of 100 is already ridiculously loud. If you turn it up from there, the audio just slams up against a compressor and sounds horrible. Now this makes no sense, because why would you design it so that the maximum value is too high? The maximum value, that is 100, should be so that the loudest sound effects that happen reach full scale, but instead, things reach full scale even with these settings turned down quite a ways, and I didn't even have them at maximum value. I only had sound effects at 75, and even there, it's all crushed against the ceiling, so I can only imagine what 100 sounds like. I eventually discovered that 25 is the correct value. When set to 25 out of 100, the loudest sounds hit full scale, and everything else has some headroom. But if a mere 25 is the correct setting, why the fuck is the default 60, and why the blithering fuck can it go all the way to 100? What an incomprehensible setup. Why make it even possible to fuck up the sound this way? If you wanted the default to be full scale, then just make the default 100, so that it's at max volume and I can turn it down if I need to for some reason. I can't fathom any reason to design the settings this way. We haven't even started yet, and they've already made an incomprehensibly stupid design decision that nobody who didn't have brainworms would. I found out that it works this way by my second recording session, and I turned it down there, but that does mean my entire first session, which is 3 hours, has massively crushed audio, which we're just gonna have to deal with, since I can't re-record first impressions. Of course, I have compensated for the loudness disparity in my own mix, so the first session audio won't actually sound louder to you, only more compressed. And obviously, I noticed while playing the game that the audio was crushed to hell, and I even comment on it a couple times. But since I've never played the game before, I just assumed that they designed it to sound that way on purpose. Some people love crushed audio. Rage is a good example of this. All of the audio in Rage sounds like it was mixed by a 5-year-old named Little Billy, who just learned what a compressor is yesterday, so he's really excited to use it on literally everything, and he just turns all the knobs as far as they go. It's remarkably ugly, but in that game it's very clearly a deliberate aesthetic choice, albeit an astronomically anserine one, where here it's just the sliders being scaled nonsensically. If you turn the volume down, it stops being crushed, where in Rage, the crush is baked into the files. They're actually made that way. So I turned this up assuming that 100 was full scale and thus 75 would still have headroom, because I'm certainly not going to assume that the volume slider hits the maximum at only 1/4 and then just keeps going past maximum, because only an actual bona fide free-range imbecile would make it work that way. So the game audio will be horribly crushed for the first part of my playthrough, but I do fix it by about halfway through part 2, so bear with me until then. However, the abject insanity of this particular design element does serve as a nice prelude to the litany of questionable design choices we will be seeing throughout the Daikatana experience. We should probably just get into this, but I want to preface this whole thing by saying I'm a huge fan of Doom, the original Doom, and it's kind of inexplicable how good Doom is. It's one of those, obviously it was a groundbreaking game, it's a watershed type game that really just changed everything. It was the biggest thing in the entire world for a few years, and everybody was trying to copy it. It was a big fucking deal, and I think it's totally warranted. Its reputation as a masterpiece is completely accurate, because Doom holds up, man. I mean, obviously it looks like shit now, but it plays well to this day. It still feels good to play. It's still fun. Mostly just because it's so mechanically well designed. The weapon mechanics and the enemy design, enemy behaviors, it all just works. It works so well together and creates something truly engaging and fun. And that's really remarkable when you consider that first-person shooters were really new at the time. It's by no means the first one, but it's not like it was a genre that had been iterated upon for many, many years, which is typically how long it takes for a genre to get really tight, is you have to have it's been around for a long time and everybody's built on each other's work. That they got it so right in a genre that was so new at the time is really genuinely impressive. It's incredible how well the game holds up because it's older than I am, and it's just as fun as it ever was. And that can't be said of every game, even though, yeah, it looks like shit now, but it still feels good to play. And the reason that's relevant here is because the lead designer of this game is John Romero, who worked on Doom. It's not accurate to say John Romero made Doom, because a bunch of people made Doom, but John Romero was one of them, and that's a big part of why this game was hyped so hard at the time in, like, gaming magazines. It was, oh, this is the next masterpiece from the genius mind of John Romero. He worked on Doom. And when you pitch it like that, you really expect something fucking amazing. And the whole fucking amazing part just never really happened. Or at least, that's what I've heard. We have 3 difficulties here: Ronin, Samurai, and Shogun. I'm just gonna go with the medium, because I have no clue what to expect here. Now, I do know this game has a really long intro. Oh, it clicks for all the ticks on the load bar. That's actually kind of annoying. I do know this game has a really long intro because I've seen it on the N64 version, which famously the N64 version has possibly the longest intro of any N64 game. It goes on for quite some time. But that's about all I've seen of the N64 version, is the intro and like a bit of the first level. But I haven't seen the PC one. Notably, the N64 version, as is common for the platform, doesn't have voice acting. So it's a really long scene with lots of dialogue where there's no voice acting, so it's kind of weirdly quiet.
Pardon the interruption, Miyamoto-san. There is a visitor waiting outside. Refuses to identify himself. Will only speak to the proprietor of the school. Also, Tanaka-san left a message earlier complaining about the injuries to his son.
I should have stayed in bed. Let me guess, Miho. It's my landlord at the door, right?
If it was, he probably would have identified himself.
Like I said, the visitor would not give his name.
Did Mishima-san send you? Tell him I'll have his money by...
There's that thing I always complain about where you can tell he was anticipating the interruption. Tell him I'll have the money by... You can tell he had no more words past that.
Sword fight? Great. You're a bit older than my usual clientele, but it's...
You wrinkled up old prune, but I can maybe work with it.
No. You misunderstand.
Look.
Did you have to give me your disease?
Donation.
Perhaps if you would allow me to...
Maybe you should just lead with the explanation. This back and forth thing is so padded.
Spare me a few...
Yeah, just shut up and get to it.
Are not here. They may be watching.
They?
The sentient marshmallow peeps, I knew they were real.
Let's take a stroll. I promise you it will be worth your time.
Well, as long as you don't shank me in the back, you take point.
The shogunate Mishima ruled over our people with an iron fist and a bloody sword.
Bloody sword?
The only opposition came from the Ebihara clan, a group of warriors dedicated to overthrowing the brutal regime. For years, the Mishimas tried to rid themselves of the Ebihara without success. After years of frustration, the ruthless leader of the Mishimas came up with a plan. Disguising his true intent, Osaka Mishima hired a legendary swordmaster to create the ultimate weapon, the Daikatana.
Oh my god, that's the title of the game.
This legendary master,
These environments are very sparse, I've noticed.
your ancestor.
There's no decoration anywhere, it's just empty rooms.
His love of swordplay led him to become an expert swordsmith as well. It was not until the blade was completed that Usagi realized Osaka's...
The animation's not quite working.
Through the power of the sword, he was able to foresee the fate that awaited mankind should Mishima ever take control of the Daikatana.
So which one of them made it powerful? Did Miyamoto make it powerful through his amazing smithing skills, or was the power inherent to the design that Mishima asked for?
He offered it to the shogunate's nemesis, Inshiro Ebihara.
In other words, is Miyamoto known for making magical swords, or just really good ones? Because there's a pretty big difference.
Had been vanquished. In an epic battle atop Mount Fujiya, Inshiro used the awesome might of the Daikatana to decimate Mishima's legions.
It's kind of just... That choreography was kind of cute there. They're just beating each other over the head like kids with cardboard tubes.
Convinced that the mystic sword was too powerful to be wielded by mere mortals, Usagi threw the Daikatana into the heart of the raging volcano.
Which clearly didn't work.
So you want me to create another Daikatana?
No, that's not necessary. I am one of Inshiro's direct descendants.
Sure you are, bro.
It may be for you to believe. I was once a very wealthy man.
That's actually not hard to believe. Lots of people are wealthy.
I funded an expedition to uncover the long-lost Daikatana in the bowels of the dormant volcano.
Let's assume for a second that I believe any of this. What's the big deal? The Daikatana is still just a sword, like any other.
No, it was too powerful to be wielded by mere mortals. Were you even paying attention?
The Daikatana contains many secrets. Even the ability to warp time and space.
Now that is pretty cool.
The fabric of time is a delicate thing.
Like the lacy panties that I like to wear.
Certain time-wandering capabilities, which have been used to alter our own perceptions of reality.
So is it altering perception or actual reality?
And you know as Kagi Mishima, a descendant of the evil Osaka, found out about the discovery of the Daikatana before I even had a chance to examine the ancient artifact. He stole the sword.
How?
And used its magical power.
Didn't you have guards?
To go back in time and change history. This world, our surroundings, are not what they appear to be.
No, they're exactly what they appear to be, because if he changed time, then he changed reality, and this is present day. Just because it's been altered doesn't mean it's not what it appears to be. You're conflating perception and reality here, and it's annoying me.
Of the millennium, Kagi claims that the Mishima family came up with a cure for the MMP virus back in the year 2030.
Oh god, that's disturbingly close to when I'm doing this.
False. The truth is that the original creator of a vaccine was Dr. Tatsuo Ibihara, another of my ancestors.
And is everybody related?
With the Daikatana in his possession, Kagi was able to travel back through time and steal the cure from Tatsuo, making it his own.
I take it that that's how Kage accumulated the funds to finance his family.
This guy doing the gruff voice is actually really funny.
Mishima only gives out the cure to those he desires to have it.
What a dick. But also, that's how things tend to work.
Need from me.
Yeah, you haven't really made a point yet, bro.
From the moment of her birth, I trained my daughter Mikiko how to wield the
Also, the whole reason we're standing out in the rain is that he was worried people might be listening. But aren't they much more likely to be listening out here than inside my building?
Retrieve the stolen sword. I have not heard from her since.
I mean, they could be right on a balcony just above us.
At his fortress.
So you want me to rescue her? Is that
Why me? I'm just a teacher, right?
And then together, you must find the Daikatana, so that history can be changed back to the way it was.
Neat story, Toshiro. But I'm not quite sure I buy it.
Yeah, it is a pretty tall
I
tale.
did. I'm just a guy teaching kids how to fight with a sword.
Yeah, why me?
No, you are the descendant of Usagi Miyamoto.
So?
Embrace your heritage and
Who the...
That still just makes me some guy. Oh my god, maybe we shouldn't have been out in the... Oh yeah, maybe we should have been indoors where I could lock the door. Oh, and he punched the air 3 feet in front of me, and I passed out. Wow. Never would have expected to get mugged in a sleazy alley.
there is nothing you can do for me, hero.
Okay, bye.
But find my daughter
Oh.
and the Daikatana.
I can't just...
Say nothing. When the death collectors come to get my body,
I feel like his pose there is too simple.
away inside the coffin. It will get you in.
He looks a little too relaxed to be, like, dying. He's in, like, a planking pose. It's just hand on his chest would, I think, help here.
You are the bloodline hero.
Also, that he's turned his head so far looks kind of awkward, too. I feel like this would be better if Hero was over him and he was just looking up at us. But I'm not going to be too picky about animation. The game is obviously very dated. So how did the death collectors know there was a body here? Hero wouldn't have called it in if he wants to hide inside, right? Do they just make regular rounds? Or does everybody have a chip in them that just sends out a signal when you die?
Ah, bump ahead. Odds are evener. Evener.
Jesus. Hell of a bump.
How many we lose? Only 4 this time. Looks like my...
Oh, odd or even was how many things get blown out by the bump?
Damn.
If it happens so often they bet on it, maybe they should get a closed back truck. I mean, I know I get that they don't give a shit, but fucking hell. Oh, Jesus, the mouse. And I guess we stowed away with the old guy's corpse. Oh, well. What a shame. Anyway, I need to reduce the mouse sensitivity by a very, very, very large amount. And I'm going to drop this because I suspect that's acceleration. Let's put this back up to like 5. Good God. Yeah, there's a lot of latency. That's going to make this actually really hard to play. I do not handle latency well. Fuck, man. This feels like shit, I'm not going to lie. Now, this mouse cursor, I already said, has like tons of latency and feels like shit, but that's because it's like a software cursor. Generally, even in games where the software cursor feels like ass, the in-game mouse look should seem immediate and one-to-one and fine. And it doesn't here. Oh, I'm so bummed out. This feels like shit. And I was really hoping as a 90s PC shooter, it should be fast and responsive and fluid, and it feels like ass because there's so much latency. So I'm really bummed by that. But anyway, I think a thing to note here is, really the thing that stands out here is we need to talk about the engine, because this game runs on the Quake 2 engine, which is not a bad engine, or rather it wasn't at the time Quake 2 was released in 1997. The problem is, it's not 1997 anymore, it's 2000? So, that's only 3 years, yes, but at the time, technology and 3D rendering and engines were accelerating at a ridiculously fast speed. So, this engine would have felt really dated at the time, and that's partly a consequence of this game had a really long development. As I understand, it was in, like, development hell for a while. Is this gonna hurt me? It looks like toxic goo that should hurt. It does not, okay. So, for the year 2000... Oh. Piss off, bitch. For the year 2000... Oh, shit. This doesn't actually look very good. I mean, a year before this, in 1999, you had Unreal, which ran on the Unreal Engine, which is in fact why it's called that. Oh, is this ammo? Yes. Ion pack. wonder if that's a reference to the studio being Ion Storm. The original Unreal Engine was like... Oh, that's an egg for these things. The original Unreal Engine was incredibly impressive. It had like reflective floors and... I don't know, I feel like this would have been unimpressive at the time visually. Can I use these? Well, I can. They give you some health. But it's not an unpleasant look, actually. As I've said numerous times on the channel, I have a fondness for this sort of chunky look, where you have these low poly jagged stuff, and especially when it's really industrial, where you're going through steel corridors and shit, which was a common element of the look. I think because steel corridors are easy to render with not very many polygons, because they can be very flat. But it's a look I love. Late 90s chunky rendering. So at the time, I would have been kind of underwhelmed by these graphics, because there were some much more impressive graphics coming out at the time. I mean, hell, by 2000 the Dreamcast was out, and I mean, if you look at something like how high poly the character models in Soul Calibur are on Dreamcast, and then smash cut to the character models in that opening cutscene, and it's a hell of a difference. Now, of course, part of the reason Soul Calibur can crank so many polygons in the characters is that it's not rendering huge environments. It's just rendering a small little arena. This is rendering a whole environment, much bigger than just a fighting ring. But still, the poly count here is very low for the time. But while that would have made me kind of underwhelmed at the time, now looking back, I actually kind of dig it. Just because I specifically love this kind of chunky rendering of the late 90s. And I'm not, I didn't have like this isn't the year 2000 and I've just dropped a ton of money on a really powerful gaming PC and I really want to give it a run for its money and make it seem like I'm justifying my investment in buying this really powerful computer by playing the most bleeding edge games. The motivation now is very different because even... Ooh, shit. Oh yes. So there seems to be a power conduit leading to that thing. So I don't know if I can destroy that to kill the turret? Or is that a switch? Or is it not related to the turret at all? I don't even know. Oh, I just have to shoot it a ridiculous number of times. Okay. Well, now that I'm almost dead, that's fantastic. This is very loosely familiar to me because, like I said, I have played a bit of the N64 version, like the first level. The layout is different, though, as was common for console ports of PC games at the time. The console version is actually heavily altered, just to account for computational differences, of course. Ooh, oh god. Okay, the noises those dragonflies make are both comical and kind of annoying. So these are clearly robots, because they make all sort of clanking noises and they blow into metallic chunks. So I guess Mishima Industries, or wherever the hell I'm going, they just flood the swamps outside their building with robot wildlife? Why would you even build robot wildlife? Oh god. Oh, I didn't know that I was getting poisoned. Oh, okay, well I guess that green puke the frogs are puking up is poison. And this is proving actually very difficult to play because of the latency, so that's a thing I'm gonna have to try to address. Because, good god. Oh, oops. I didn't want to turn around and go the other way. I can't help but note that meter fills at a completely linear rate. It pauses for a bit, and it fills at a completely consistent speed, which a load would never be that consistent. So that makes me think it's actually loading instantly, and then that ticking is a canned sequence that always goes the same way. I do like that this game is taking pretty good advantage so far of the Quake 2 engine's, that was way fewer shots this time. I guess I didn't hit it quite right last time. It's taking good advantage of the Quake 2 engine's colored dynamic lights, which, well, again, at the time of Quake 2's release, a huge 3 years earlier, was actually very impressive. Dynamic lighting was something not everything was doing, but colored dynamic lighting, where like these bolts are actually coloring the surroundings green, not just lighting them up. It's weird that dragonfly buzzing sound is... It's like the loudest sound effect here. It's louder than my gunshots. There's also an incredible... You won't hear this if you don't have a subwoofer. There's an incredibly loud, continuous low hum. The fact that it never stops and is quite loud actually is really fatiguing and annoying. I'm already tired of it, because there's this really powerful subwoofer hum coming out, and it's not... It doesn't seem to be motivated by anything. It's just continuously happening. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of the ambience. It's pretty low. Oh god. Oh, this is already... I'm gonna try the melee on these. This is already a little bit dull because by now in Quake we would already be doing some pretty exciting combat with enemy soldiers and stuff. And right now we're kind of just dicking around with the local wildlife. Oh shit. Is that the power control? Yeah, apparently. Or I guess I was hitting the turret itself. Its hitbox is kind of big. But fucking with the wildlife like this isn't terribly exhilarating. It's also not even wildlife, because they appear to be robots, which is just fucking weird. And annoyingly, particularly the frogs, are short enough that when they're underwater, you can't even necessarily see them. Yeah, see, that green bolt there, that must be poison. Which I didn't realize. I thought it was just the color of their attack. Yeah, this layout must be completely different than the N64 version, because it's not ringing a bell at all. Also, I wish I had a flashlight, because it is kind of dark. But I don't remember seeing a command for light. No. Warning. I was gonna say that's not legible, but it actually looks like it's not even English, because the top clearly isn't. But warning is the only part I can read. Is this a sensor? I'm assuming I'm going to set off an alarm going through this? Yes, I am. Okay. Do I shoot these? Oh, yes. It's just some kind of drone, I guess. Fair enough. Private. Oh, can't read that. Well, it only said private twice and warning once, so I'm sure it's fine if I go in here. Although the door is blocked. And my god, there's so much bass in this game. I'm tired of it. I like bass, but it doesn't stop. Oh god, that's a lot of these fucking things. Oh, the bridge went out. Okay. Oh no. I don't have much room to maneuver here. Why did I just die instantly? I swear I had lots of health. I think I accidentally touched the force field, and apparently it's not just a barrier, it kills you if you touch it. Oops. Yeah, this isn't very exciting so far. It's upsettingly murky, for one. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, we're in this dystopian setting. It's supposed to be dreary and bleak. That's that, and we are kind of industrial here, too, with big pipes and shit, so... It's a look I don't necessarily mind, but it would help if I had some sort of flashlight, because it is ridiculously dark. Oh, well, that answers my question. You can hurt yourself with this. See, I noticed its shots bounce around, but I didn't know if they could bounce... If they bounced back at me, if it would cause damage, and yeah, it does. Can I break these signs? Oh, wow, the base stopped. That's weird. Oh, now it's back. Oh, it's the ion gun itself. Oh, okay. Yeah, while this thing's equipped, it puts out an insanely loud subwoofer hum that's incredibly annoying because it never stops. It's fatiguing because you don't get a break. Any sort of continuous sound generally is fatiguing, You kind of want to avoid continuous non-stop sounds in sound design because they do become irritating. So I don't know if I'm supposed to jump down here. There is a ladder, presumably just to get me back up, since the bridge gets destroyed. But maybe I'm not supposed to approach the main entrance. Let's just go down instead. Although I'm assuming there are tons of monsters down here. And the ladder doesn't quite work. Oh god, yeah, if you fire that underwater it just hurts, which I would have guessed, but I was going to try anyway. Yeah, there doesn't actually... Oh wait, no, there is. I was going to say, it doesn't appear to be anything down here, but... Oh, is this punch electrified? Because it's sparking. Weirdly though, the impact happens long after the animation is done. I mean, like, long after the animation's done. So, that way is clearly blocked. So I guess I do go up here? But up here is clearly blocked as well. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, those things zap the bridge. Okay, I didn't see that the first time. Oh, God. I backed into the barrier again. I was trying to do a small step back, and it was a big one because I have always run enabled and not an analog stick. Alright, I'm just gonna hop down. Fuck it. Well, at least the sound effects aren't horribly annoying. Is this thing unkillable? I don't know. Oh no, it's killable. And then I gotta sound like an elevator telling me it's arrived. I'm not sure what that means. Grab some of that ammo. I am horribly injured. Oh, that opened the gate, I guess. Wow. You're protected by the Megashield. Wow, that's a 90s term for you. Gave me 400 armor. Bitchin'. Oh, I was really hoping the water would break my fall there. Damn it. Just wasted a bunch of my Megashield. In proper 90s shooter fashion, though, I am incredibly fast, which I do like, but it does make minor adjustments to movement essentially impossible. Even when I hold shift to walk, I'm still really fast. I do have to say the music is a bit dull so far, though. It's just sort of 90s synthetic sequenced drums with a little bit of synth to it. There's not a lot going on melodically. It's very of the era, in a way that's not offensive, but is a bit dull. Oh shit. Oh no, I'm poisoned. I think that wears off over time. Yes, you feel the poison leaving your system. Fantastic. So is this a switch? Can I break it? It looks like it's a control panel for this door. I guess I just have to follow where the conduit goes, which is up top. So yeah, clearly I just need to get up there. There we go. Yes. And then I just go across to here, I suppose. Or no, I'm going to have to jump to this one. Oh god. Oh, ooh. Well, actually, that worked really well. Glorious. So now that we've fucked up the power source for that door control, you'd think that would just render the door inoperable, but it's actually going to open it. It's not terribly exciting so far. And I don't know why we're fighting robot wildlife. That's just not an exciting enemy. Hello, sir. Oh, shit. Oh, well, thanks for eating those rounds for me. that was actually really helpful. Thank you. Your death was not in vain. I appreciate the sacrifice, although I don't think it was a voluntary one. And this looks like a power box to break. Which I guess opens... Yes, this door. Why does destroying the power source open it? Why would you design it that way? I'm going to install this security system because it's very important nobody gets into my labs to see all my evil, ne'er-do-well evil doings. But I'm going to design it so that if they destroy the power source, they can just waltz right in, unmolested. It's genius. Oh, there it is. Oh, the buzzing sound on the... Oh, God, this fucking hum. Okay. The buzzing sound on the dragonflies, it's not continuous. It's a really short sound file. So they just have to loop it repeatedly. You can hear them, like, just looping the sound. Buzz, 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 buzz. Instead of it being a continuous thing that would be like... Again, continuous is annoying, but there, continuous would make more sense because the dragonfly is continuously flying. But you could then modulate the pitch and speed of it, but instead it's just a tiny little clip that just loops, loops, loops. What does this do? Oh, that opens a door somewhere. I don't specifically recognize where that is. Hello, sir. I get that you're scared, but, Oh, and... Hero grunts ridiculously if you hit the use key on nothing. Let's move on. We'll let that guy piss his pants in peace. Oh, good. More nasty green toxic sludge. Oh, and... Oh, shit! Oh, I think I was getting continuously damaged by the elevator there. The elevator was clearly running into the frogs. Or whatever creature is down there. Because it didn't go all the way down once it had noticed me. This appears to be the door I opened with the control panel. And the audio is so fucking distorted. Are there any items down here? This is probably going to kill me because I'm going to run out of air. I don't know where this goes. I should have just gone through the door I opened. Oh no, this tunnel is way longer than I expected it to be. Oh, it's going up? It's going up? Okay. Ooh, I didn't die. You found a secret. Oh, my power leveled up. I don't know why, or really what that gets me. So yeah, on the left there it says level up on power. Do I need to go into a menu to spend points, or does it just apply automatically? Oh god, I'm out of ammo. And holy crap, what was I just saying about this game not sounding very good? When you have the sound effects, the awful dragonfly sound effect layered this many times. Oh god, the audio is very annoying so far. Ooh, a different weapon. Thank Christ, at least it doesn't make a continuous humming noise. I don't know what it does. I only have 8 shots for it, though. Well, that might mean they're either really powerful shots, like it's a grenade launcher or something, or I just don't have very much ammo for it. Also, the whole level up thing is still blinking at me, which makes me think I'm supposed to do something with it. Otherwise, it would have stopped telling me by now. What I really should do is look at the manual, but since I bought this digitally, I would have to go to the GOG website and download it, and this computer is not hooked to the internet, so... Oh, and that hurt me. That secret door opening hurt me? That's bullshit. And this is where the latency on the controls, on the aiming, is really biting me in the ass. Because I can barely play this game, which is pissing me off. I should say, part of my motivation for doing quite a C4 oh, yes, this thing fires C4, apparently. So I guess I was right, I had few rounds because it's really powerful. I hear a frog. Oh, there it is. Part of my motivation for... Oh, this hump. Oh, and the droning music. Oh my god, this... I'm actually kind of oppressed by the audio in this game. But anyway, so I'm just gonna pause it and take a break, because fuck, the audio is really annoying. Part of my motivation for picking this game to do right now is because the last few things I've done have had incredibly annoying controls. Problematic controls. Well, like the last thing I played all the way through was Shell Shock 2, which had just unconscionable controls, very stiff and terrible. And then the frame rate drops anytime you're in combat, which makes it even harder to aim. I then tried to do a playthrough of Bubsy 3D, which I actually gave up on for very obvious reasons. It's very likely I will never publish that. I only did one session before I gave up on the game and said there's no way I'm playing the rest of this, even though I went into it really planning to finish it. It was so bad I had to give up, and it's the first playthrough I've ever given up on partway. And that game, of course, has just indescribably bad controls. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll give myself a reprieve from the bad controls by playing a PC game. Because, man, PC games always have great controls, because aiming with a mouse just feels so right. The problem here, though, is that it doesn't feel so right, because there's so much fucking latency that it just feels like ass. At this point, I'm just wandering around. Oh wait, no, that's where I came in. Okay. So I'm back to where I was. So we've looped around. That's where I went for the secret. So now I can just go in here, which is the door that was opened by the control. So I missed 7 secrets, amazingly. And the music still won't stop. This dull, tedious drum and synth thing. Just, oh, thank God it stopped.
I don't have the firepower to blast through that gate.
I have a C4 launcher. I mean, it's a pretty tough-looking gate, but...
What the... Who's...
I very loosely remember this from the N64 version, I think. I think this happens, like a ghost appears. A spirit appears, whatever he is. So I think this here is about as far as I've played of the N64, is I think I got inside. I was like, oh god, I'm glad I'm out of that swamp, but I'll come back to this later, and then I never went back to it later.
What was that all about?
I should be really more surprised by the fact that I saw a ghost and it helped me. And the fact that it did help me proves that it wasn't some sort of hallucination because it actually interacted with the environment. Oh well, take it in stride. Also, the level up thing is still blinking at me, which really makes me think I am supposed to do something with it. So what I am going to do is, I'm actually going to look up the manual. Experience system, here we go. There are 5 attributes the player may augment as experience points are gained by defeating the enemies. Power, determines the power of the player's weapon. Well, that's the one that apparently leveled up. Yeah, we have power is the power of the player's weapon. Attack determines the fire rate of the weapon. I'm glad I looked that up, because power and attack to me kind of mean the same thing. Speed determines the speed of the player. I really don't need that to level up because we are already really, really fucking fast. Acro determines the height of the player's jumps. And Vitality determines the maximum health. When one of 5 power-ups is found, the corresponding attribute is temporarily increased to its maximum value. But how the fuck do I make it stop blinking at me? And the manual here does not actually tell me. Holy shit, that scream was amazing. Oh, I love that scream so much. Alright. I love it. Oh, but how do I... Oh, I did... Okay. I just hit E just in case that was interactable. I didn't know it was. It opened a thingy somewhere. Whoa, Jesus. That frog just blew those guys into chunks. You guys are lucky you stayed in here. These frogs are fucking deadly. Also, yeah, you have to hit E to open the door. I figured it would be automatic. We do have glorious 90s jibs, though, where the enemies explode into gory chunks. So does this go do? Oh, yes, this does go down. There's like an opening here. Is that a secret? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that is one of the unique power-ups it was talking about. It's at maximum. So that temporarily boosted me to maximum. Okay. Also, I can't help but notice that even now that we're indoors and out of the wretched, dreary-ass swamp... Oh, shit. Just shot myself there. We're indoors, we're out of the wretched swamp, and we're still just shooting robot wildlife. I was really hoping we would be past that by now, because I'm so tired of fighting dragonflies and frogs. Also, I can't believe how brief that power-up was. That was so brief, it may as well have not been a thing. Oh god, you see me trying to do these twitchy things, and it's not working because the latency is so huge. That's how I usually aim in PC things, is I'm extremely twitchy. And it's not working. Don't worry, guys. I'm not gonna kill you. What does this do? Oh, it's back in the room with the churning thing. I don't know what that room actually does, though. Something industrial, I'm assuming. Looks like I can't break grates. Oh, fuck, that's... Ugh. I thought that was a frog or something. It's a little too big, I think, to fight with melee. Let's try the C4. Oh, God. That's more of a blast than I expected. Ooh, hey. Fruit. For some reason, I can't actually eat that quickly. I would love to just go E, you know, to grab all three, but Hiro Miyamoto has a limited scoffing speed. Oh god, he's got launchers. I was expecting ion blasters, honestly. Oh, actually he had less health than I expected, given his size. No matter, the game's starting to give me quite a bit of C4. And that's apparently high up enough I can't actually climb out. Okay, so why am I here then? There appears to be armor there, though. But it looks like I'm gonna have to drop down from above rather than climb out of the water. And it sure would be nice to have a flashlight, though. It might be one of the best screaming sound effects I've ever heard. There's some pretty good ones in Red Faction. There's one in particular in Red Faction I remember really, really being amused by. And that scream is still funny, amazingly. But this one here is pretty... this one here is pretty good, too. I think this is down where that armor was, wasn't it? Yes! Owie. But worth hopping down to grab that. Fantastic. Oh god, now we have to wait for this thing to come all the way back, too. Oh, for fuck's sake, there's no reason this thing should be this slow. You remember what I was saying about how I love 90 oh, I don't know if this guy's gonna get pinched against the wall and die. Oh, not quite. Oh, he made it. Remember what I was saying about how 90 shooters are... I love 90 shooters because they're so fast? This game's not actually that fast so far. We move really quickly, but... the gameplay itself is... a bit ponderous, really. There's lots of non-linear wandering around and not as much just running and gunning as I would like. So I think, yeah, it's this that's open now? Oh, fuck me. Ooh, this thing's got quite a bit of spread, it looks like. These aren't all flying to the same spot. Alright, let's go around. It does seem to be reasonably powerful, though, the C4 launcher. The enemy pathing seems to leave a little bit to be desired. And as I say that, there's a guy stuck on something. So there's a guy stuck on something there. There was the guy stuck on the lift. He was like jittering in place while I was on the moving platform. And then that dragonfly there was stuck on, you know, this triangular part of the door instead of actually going down and out to where I was. What is this? Oh. That healed me. I only needed 1 point, but hey. Hey, pal, you stuck on the wall there? Yeah, that's okay. I don't judge. Weird, I guess the frogs aren't hostile to them. Even though a frog earlier blew one into chunks. Oh, actually, those don't take very many ion rounds. Oh. I was going to keep switching to the C4 for them, but I don't really need to. And see, right what we have going on here is this guy is stuck on either the wall or the guy sitting there, so I can just pick him off without any resistance whatsoever. Thanks for that, pal. I know you didn't do it on purpose, but it did make things slightly easier for me. Yeah, the pathing is a bit weak. Now, I know that's going to become a problem going to become a problem later, because I am aware one of the major complaints against this game is it has a buddy system. Actually, I think they're called sidekicks, not buddies. Where, I guess at some point in the game, you end up with followers. One of which is called Superfly. I know that much. And of course I know the line, "I can't leave without my buddy Superfly," when you try to leave the level when he's too far away. Because I've just heard people reference that. So I know this game has a sidekick system where you have followers, and one of the major complaints I've heard about this game over the years is that they're very annoying because they get stuck on stuff, they get like hung up on doors. A big issue is that the buddy system, having a companion, was a big selling point to this game when it was being hyped up in magazines and such. That was going to be this revolutionary system for the game, because that hadn't really been done in shooters, where you had a companion. And for a major feature of the game, it just doesn't work well enough, because they're just not good at navigating. I'm already aware that's going to be a problem at some point in this game. Oh, sorry. Oh, I was trying to shoot past that guy, but his hitbox is apparently full height even when he's crouched. So I blew him into chunks. If either of you tells anyone that happens, I'll blow you into chunks too, so you better keep this Oh, I accidentally pushed that guy off the edge. Wow, that's impressive. Oh, shit. Wow. He definitely got the drop on me, although only managed to hit me once despite that. It's kind of the trade-off of having slow-ass rocket projectiles instead of something like a bullet. Can we be done with frogs? You acquired the ultimate gas hands? Wait. Oh, and the sound continues into the pause menu. Okay. Just stop. Okay. Ultimate gas hands. So it's like a pull start internal combustion engine I just strapped to my hand? Why does that make my punch hurt more? It doesn't seem to have any sort of spinning blade on it. It's not like it's a pull start, you know, chainsaw mounted to my hand or like a circular saw blade. There doesn't appear to be anything... It doesn't appear to have any actual weapon on it. Right? I mean, it's funny. The name Ultimate Gas Hands is hilarious. I love the name of the item. It's also very visually interesting, the notion of strapping a pull start engine to your hand, with the animation involving actually pulling the ripcord to start it. Oh, I guess these don't... Huh, I think those shots can't actually go through water. So it's at least visually interesting, I'll give it that. It's an item I've never seen in a game before. Oh, that was cool. Yeah. Retractable ladder design. Of course, that frog automatically gets the drop on me and poisons me, which is fantastic. The other big problem with the hand here is that not only is it just conceptually baffling, but just like the ion cannon, it makes a continuous, annoying sound effect, which means I'm not really gonna use it because it makes an incredibly annoying continuous sound effect. And just like the dragonflies, it has the same problem where it's a very short file that doesn't have a seamless loop point. So instead of a continuous engine sound, it's like, which makes it so much more obnoxious. Oh god. I don't know why you would design it that way. And it's not even a nice sounding engine sound where it's like low and meaty or has like a nice rattle to it. It's very nasally and ugly. So now I only have one weapon I can equip that doesn't make continuously annoying sounds. And it's the weapon I don't want continuously equipped because I can't use it at point blank range. Which means if what happened right there happens, and I run into an enemy close to me, I have to switch. Also, the sound of these things walking is incredibly annoying. God, the audio in this game is bad. Sort of headache-inducing, honestly. Like, every sound is ugly. No, I wanted to shoot it over the pipe. Alright, let's aim higher up this time. There we go. Oh, that still hurts me. Come on. I'm plenty far enough away. Also, I'm behind cover. Also, if these things are... Oh, I'm out of ammo. If these things are robots, which they appear to be because they make ridiculous clanking noises, why are they in eggs? The eggs actually don't even look robotic. They look kind of organic. Are they Mishima's security system? Because if so, why would you make your security system fucking robotic dragonflies? Like, if I was gonna build robots to defend me, dragonflies is probably the last thing that would come to mind. I would build like cyber ninjas or something with huge tits. Also, that level up thing is not going away, so I'm just gonna fucking keep looking through the manual to see. Oh god, it's HUD next, HUD previous, and HUD use. Why does the manual not describe this though? Because I'm looking in the manual here. I'm gonna read you what the manual says in its entirety. There are 5 attributes the player may augment as experience points are gained by defeating the enemies. Power, attack, speed, acro, vitality, the description of each, what I read earlier, and it says, when one of 5 power-ups is found, the corresponding attribute is temporarily increased to its maximum value. Then the next category is just saving the game. So that's the entirety of what it describes the experience system. Nowhere in there does it mention that you actually have to manually allot the point. So now I need to go into settings. I actually had to look up a different website. It's like a Steam forum of somebody saying, apparently it's HUD next, HUD previous, and HUD use, which are LK and semicolon. Okay. So I can pick which one to level, and then semicolon will do it. I'm just gonna go with power, honestly. Oh, I have another level. Oh, look at that. Let's do another power. And those still take 2 shots. So I feel like leveling up power did literally nothing. Well, those ones died in 1 hit. I don't know. Maybe there's some randomization going on. Also, I'll just ignore these. Since Hero can't hold his breath long enough for me to fight them anyway. Yeah, he was already starting to choke, it sounded like. Is this a switch of some kind? Yes, that is. I don't actually know what that switch did, though. Oh, it's opening that. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I went over that before, but I didn't realize the water level was dropping. I thought the door was just opening. Oh, I guess that choking sound... The sound when you surface and he takes a breath sounds like the sound you would use for when you're out of breath and starting to take damage. Okay, so clearly this is going to be a timing puzzle. I'm going to need to fill this back up, because I have no way of getting over those. I'm going to have to fill this back up. I'm going to have to flip the switch and get over them before the water's low enough that I can't get over them. Let's go down here. Hit that. Last time I just wasted some time by surfacing for air. I didn't realize it was going to be timing sensitive. There we go. Oh, that looked like it might be a switch. I keep forgetting this thing bounces. God damn it. And the door closes on me. Fucking hate auto-closing doors. I bitch about that in every shooter, but that's because they're annoying in every shooter. Oh, that's what the button does. Yeah, those have too much splash, man. I keep wanting it to be like the grenade launcher in Quake, where you can use the grenade launcher in Quake pretty damn close. I keep wanting it to be that, and it's not. I can barely move here because I'm sliding downward continuously. And the door closed on me again. Fucking fantastic. Yeah, so far none of this feels particularly good. Like, if we're just talking how it feels to play, it doesn't feel good to play. For one, the sound effects are obnoxious, which I've harped on continuously, but the movement's really overly fast. The aiming has shitloads of latency. I'm not sure why. It shouldn't. I don't know, it feels like the hitboxes are all too big. Doors automatically close, and they close too quickly, so you then just get damaged by that. It's all just kind of annoying. Not egregiously so. Like, this isn't dog shit, but... And yeah, if you press 3, because 3 equips this thing and you can tap the button on the side, that's just a remote detonate. So they're proximity, but if they haven't gone off from proximity, you can detonate them manually. I like that feature. And I'm really tired of dragonflies. Or whatever the fuck these are. Maybe they're damselflies. I can't tell the difference when they're in flight. Oh shit, yep. As I suspected, that pushes you off. So I'll jump across instead. Oh fuck, and then overshoot because there's a ton of momentum to the movement. Alright, there we go. Yep. What was I just saying about how it doesn't feel good to play? This game is newer than Quake 2! It runs on the Quake 2 engine, so it has to be newer than Quake 2. And, Quake 2 feels fucking amazing as one of my favorite games of all time, and this, so far, is not one of my favorite games of all time. Exactly as, obviously, I knew it would be. Bitch, you're in the way. You've got 3 seconds to move so I can hit this switch. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you didn't. I guess you have to die. There. Oh, I can unequip the gas hands. Okay. See, I obviously I knew this game was going to be at least somewhat underwhelming because obviously it has a bit of a reputation. But... oh, crap. But here I was really hoping... its reputation was, you know, not quite accurate, that, you know, actually it's not that bad. And frankly, so far, it's not that bad. Like, this isn't dog shit so far. I'm actually kind of having fun, to some degree. It's not very tight. Like, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 0 polish, but... see, a big issue with this grenade launcher, and why I keep hurting myself with it, is that the blast radius is very, very large, but it can't actually launch the C4 very far. So you kind of invariably have to be relatively close to the enemies even to reach them, at which point you're then close enough you take damage. See, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, where the polish here just isn't that great. The C4 blast radius is really too big relative to how far you can launch it. That's a thing that could be adjusted by either making it fire the C4 a little bit farther, or making the blast radius a little bit smaller. And I'm not even talking a big change, a small one would go a long way here. But that's really the main thing I'm seeing missing here, is the small stuff, bits of polish. Not broad strokes, because broad strokes, this kind of works. Oh, those rockets can ricochet. I did not realize that. Also, I'm pretty sure the explosion sound on that C4 mine there is... oh, I was moving on my own there. That was annoying. I'm pretty sure the explosion sound is... ooh, shot cycler shells. I'm assuming that's some kind of shotgun, considering they're called shells. The explosion sound on the C4, I think, is the same one as Quake. But the broad strokes here aren't too bad. Basically, we have a 90s shooter. It's industrial, we're running around steel corridors, because, of course, every 90s shooter was steel corridors like this. It looks alright, because it has that chunky industrial look I like. It's a little bit too dark and dreary. The color is pretty ugly. I like that there's a lot of green, because normally I like green, but it's sort of a weird, sickly, gross green, like you would put on poison or toxic sludge, which makes it a little bit off-putting. Which isn't inappropriate here, because it is presumably intended to be like industrial waste or something. So it doesn't look too bad, this game. It's kind of ugly, but it's ugly in a kind of charming way, where it's very of its time. The sound is just ugly. The sound is incredibly ugly, unconscionably ugly, in fact, in a way that is not charming, even for its time. Well, most games sounded bad at the time. There were games that didn't sound like ass at the time, but it wasn't all of them, by any means. Oh, that's definitely the Quake grenade sound. Oh, yeah. A little closer, bitch. There we go. I do like the remote detonate on the packs. That's pretty cool. They're proximity or manual. I like that. I can barely see this room. This lift is automatic, even though I think every other one we've been on has required a button press. Whoa, what is hitting me? Oh, something hit scan. Oh, I'm stuck on... Oh, the wall is crenellated and I was stuck on it. I didn't realize those guys were shooting at me first, because I thought they were more of these guys that are just the unarmed pansies that freak out. Apparently, yeah, they had guns, and those guns are hit scans, so you don't see them hitting you. And oh, I had less health than I thought. So yes, these clearly heal you. Is it gonna run out? Or can I heal forever on this? Oh, it turned red. Maybe it is empty. Oh no! I guess it recharges? Unfortunately, the way I have my mic set up in front of me, the reason I'm not really paying much attention to my health is it's right at the bottom of the screen, and actually the very edge of my windscreen is slightly obscuring it, so I kind of have to move my head to see my health. So I've moved that a little bit. Again, like I said, I'm playing this on a TV at more distance than you would normally have a monitor, so